Also this afternoon, we're following tension which is on the rise at Pampaso number 1, a community near Nsawam in the eastern region. Residents there are unhappy about what they say is a forceful eviction from their homes by some Chinese nationals. The men allegedly stormed the village in the middle of the night in the company of some masked men suspected to be land guards, and also they started pulling down some buildings there in a bid to protest what they term is the forceful takeover of their property. The youth there have blocked the roads connecting the community to register their displeasure. Here's more.
I'm matching Yaman 2 o'clock. Yes, sorry, and that is a baby. Now, this sister said, I did wait on Tiasi because they were I don't see a den and John Tiasi. Oh, sorry, opium, I don't know. Kusu, and also BMP. If you repair a hair and coffee, Jancy, MP for Denny. Place your Yapa Mucho, oh my, and your Mansana, oh my MP, almost the MP, say MPR. I don't pay on them. It's my sister so phone say or the Kosha there, or catch my sister she said, when you phone now or the other bone coach. It's the you know my name you crana, oh my good and day with cat in the bell, cat winning in our den. Or best say you know my auntie. Is you can I didn't know Cadena. Young funny of a beer or then move down.
It is a Paso. To remove
at once now or told me to collapse.
This your way?
It's your Madame Banco.
Okay. And that's it.
Well, so that's the situation in the community as we speak. Earlier, you heard residents explaining how this exercise actually started in the early parts of today with some unknown men masked who are believed to be land guards moving into the community and attacking residents there. But there are security implications. There are warnings of reprisals by the youth in the area. Richard Kumado, as a security consultant, joins us now for more on this. Richard, so I'm sure that you've been monitoring the developments in the community. How do we de-escalate tension there?
No, definitely, this one did not come to me as a surprise at all. You remember recently some military officers went for some level of operations to stop Galamsey, and it ended up burning down some houses, either deliberately or as part of the accident of the job they do. I think as a nation, we will need to look at this whole exercise of Galamsey again. It's becoming displeasurable. And Galamsey is not just a national security threat, but it affects food production, it affects healthy living, it affects our water bodies, and it affects everybody. With this particular one, I think if it is proven that these guys are not part of the security agencies, then we will need to track them down and probably take them by the bull as to why they will want to do what is being reported they're doing.
And what's surprising about this story is that there's the alleged involvement of foreign nationals.
Definitely, they've taken the law into their own hands. And bless you know, this whole thing about Galamsey, the downstream of it is that there are hidden people behind the scene who put up so much money into it, hired land guards and notorious people in societies, to beat up people and to do the job for them. And once there's no statutory law enforcement agencies from the state, then it creates a vacuum for them to take advantage. And if it is proven that these are notorious gangs operating within the area, then it has come to the fore that our people must be stationed there, and they will want to be circumspect and prudent at all times if we want to deal with this as once and for all.
Yeah, at the same time, we know that government has made a number of attempts at nipping this whole activity of illegal mining in the bud. We've heard of a number of interventions, Operation Galam Stop, there's Operation Halt 2, and a number of military and radical approaches that have been adopted by government to deal with this. Why are all these measures not working, really?
One of the critical things that came to fore when they did the review analysis is that there has not been enough collaboration between the forces we set together, and the disjointed elements between the Ministry of National Security, the politicians themselves, and the law enforcement leading the crusade. That disjointed communication and lack of coordination is creating a problem for them. Now, they also have operational challenges in the field, and that is to say that command and control became an issue for them in cases where there are clear-cut instructions as to what to do. Some other instructions come from above, and it creates problem for them. And that is why you could see that there has been cold foot. People are dragging their feet instead of getting to the front line and make sure they operate professionally as people who are determined of getting this job done once and for all.
But in the meantime, let's focus on the community as well. What we want to avert is another clash that may emerge there within the Nsawam community. What's the immediate step that you're expecting the Ghana Police Service will take in resolving the matter?
It's good you introduce the police, because that is what I was coming to. I think Dan Parry and his men, especially the anti-terror track, anti-terror task force, the counter-terrorism unit, these are professionals. I have been close to them over the years, and I think they need to get to the front line, particularly when public safety has been breached, particularly when the communities are threatening a hell-long fight with these guys. And I think they will need to calm down people. They will need to engage the communities more. And let's bring in the chiefs who sometimes are accused of being people behind some of these things. And I think we'll be the bloodshed on our hands.
Interesting. We're not admitting necessarily that based on the report, those involved in this activity are foreigners, particularly Chinese, as we are hearing of. But it's been a long time since we heard of their involvement in issues of illegal mining. I mean, from the security check, you've been monitoring the situation for quite some time now. Is it the case, and what's accounting for that significant reduction? And what may also be the reason why they're resurrecting or re-emerging as the case is right now?
I think they have been on the field, but because of the backlash and the abuse they receive from the public, they've let off the media for some time, and issues of Galamsey has not taken the media space until this particular one broke out on Easter Monday or on Easter Sunday. Now the media has picked it up, and not just the media, but Joy for that matter. I believe you will hear from tomorrow going, government ministers and people in the face of all this who have a duty and a responsibility will begin to address the issue and involve the media once again. With regards to foreigners, they have always been involved, and the military command have difficulties dealing with the foreigners and why we will allow them to take our public space, especially in the area of Galamsey. And you know, diplomacy and international relations as to why they got in there, and many of the things that came from their foreign agency, particularly the Chinese. I think our government will need to sit up again and let's deal with this issue and draw the red lines, and we shouldn't allow anybody to cross it. Other than that, the consequential effects will be more.
You've heard this question numerous times. I'm asking again, what's the best strategy in dealing with this?
I think we need to take the bull by the horn. Sometimes as Ghanaians, the way we also behave is a problem. Some of the people who have been allegedly involved in these Galamsey issues, you just heard in the news recently, they have been let off the hook without any explanation. When you do that, you are rationalizing bad behavior and you are promoting antisocial behavior. I think mistakes were done in the past. I think we have challenges dealing with it. But one of the key things I can say is that let's take it one after the other and draw the red lines. What do we do with our mineral under there? And what are the people who are supposed to be allowed to get involved into those things. And when they cross the line, what should we do? I think we are afraid because of politics, and that is why we are stepping back when we go forward a little bit.
I'm grateful that you've been able to spend some time with us. Richard Kumado, a fraud and security consultant, giving us his perspective on the matter.